So what game do we have going on tonight?
Panthers and Tampa Bay.
Jameis Winston sucks.
Not a big fan of either, but Cam Newton can be elite if he wants to. He just got to stay in focus.
McCaffrey's a beast. I mean, he got beefed up over the offseason, and he's looking good. First week he looked really good. I think he had over 100 rushing yards, and I believe, if not over, close to over, or close to 100 receiving yards and a touchdown, and he looked really good.
Also, Cam Newton coming off the surgery, going to be strong. You saw what they did last week to the Rams. They only lost about 3. So,
What was the score?
pretty high score though.
So no defense.
I mean, that's what
All
the
offense.
NFL's coming to. The Chiefs, the Rams.
Who they got as receivers now?
They got DJ Moore. I got him on my fantasy team.
Is he a rookie?
I think this is the second year.
Second year.
He's expected to do big things. I mean,
Is he a big guy?
I don't think he's big. I think he's just average size, just good route runner. He can go up and catch the, high ball.
Chris Hogan. They also
Oh,
have
Yeah, they
his-
got him over there, didn't they?
He's all right. He's pretty good.
I mean,
but
I'm
he's
just
not
saying,
gonna. He's not gonna change the game for you there.
They got old Ray McLeod III.
I'm just saying, I have yet to see a receiver that has left the Patriots and done good anywhere else.
But
I totally agree with that.
Look where they've gone. That's not the offense for them.
Okay, Wes Welker went to play with Peyton Manning.
Okay,
I'm just
yes.
saying, and he still didn't just go off like he did back whenever he's with the Patriots.
He was a little older,
Yeah.
but I agree.
Amendola is actually looking pretty good with the Lions right now.
Yeah.
He went to the Dolphins and he didn't do too hot just because it's the Dolphins. But
Yeah,
he had
I
a
mean,
good. He had a
we saw
good
what
one.
happened to them.
He had a good game last week.
Do you-
Amendola did.
Maybe the Patriots just hang on to him until
They have no value.
right, and they see it coming, and it's really not that they're worse in other places. They're just washed up when they're done with them.
I'm convinced Bill can see the future.
Yeah. Well, back in 2008 when Tom went down with the ACL injury, I was so pissed off that they rolled into week 1 with Matt Castle. Like, I was like, Bill, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? And we ended up going 11-5, and Matt Castle went to the Pro Bowl, I think. He might not have went there, but he threw for like 4,000 yards, close to 30 touchdowns, and got that big contract in KC the next year. And after that, I was like, I will never question Bill again, ever in my entire life.
Until
Does that not tell you that Bill
2
makes
Super
the
Bowls
quarterback?
ago, 2 or 3 Super Bowls ago when he didn't play Malcolm Butler.
I trust Bill Belichick so much at this point that I think he knew Malcolm Butler was not going to play well that game.
I think he would have played well. I think they would have won them the Super Bowl.
Yep.
What would
Because
have won them
Alshon
the
Jeffrey
Super
had a
Bowl
good
is
game
if Tom
and-
Brady could catch.
That too. If he was
Straight up
athletic.
If he was as good as Nick Foles, they would have won that game.
Hey,
How about Nick Foles?
I
That
know.
sucks so bad.
first game, and what did he break?
His like his collarbone,
clavicle.
like
Yeah,
up
clavicle,
there, like
yeah.
in the.
But hey, that rookie that came in for him, he
Oh.
went like 15 for 15 to start off. That was
but he
badass.
ended the game like 22 of 25 with like 200 something yards, I think.
Yeah. They just traded for. I can't think of his name now.
Josh Dobbs.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
Is that his
Dobbs,
name?
Joshua Dobbs.
He went
yeah.
to Tennessee,
Yeah.
wasn't he there?
Yeah,
Yes.
Josh Dobbs is really good. About that backup quarterback,
okay.
he said he went 15 and 15. We see that all the time with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston as well too. I mean, as soon as either Jameis Winston leaves or the game and Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, he just goes off, and then the next game he's trash. So I
Yeah.
mean, you never really know if that rookie
Oh, yeah, there's
actually
no-
is good until
You're
you see him
definitely
in the
not
next
going to
game.
win a Super Bowl with those guys.
First
Well,
of
yeah,
all,
they're never making it.
Unless you just have one of those defenses like the Rams last year, Jacksonville, the year that they were making that run. That's the only way you're going to get to the Super Bowl with a quarterback like that.
Well, unless
Fitzpatrick is a Hall of Fame quarterback. What other quarterback has thrown interception to every NFL team? Name one.
Is
No.
Brett Favre?
No.
maybe.
Okay. He's the only person that's thrown 300 interceptions. Is it 2 or 300? I
I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
200.
300 seems excessive.
But back to this quarterback, like you said, they're probably not going to win a Super Bowl. But
we still don't know if you can.
Yeah, what if this dude is the next big thing?
Listen,
Wait, who
that
are
is
we
very
talking
true.
about?
The backup for the Jaguars, the guy that threw when he came in when Nick Foles went down, he threw for 22 of 25.
I was
overtime.
talking about Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
talking about that guy. I was talking about people that we know what you're getting. You know that you're going to get what Preston's talking about,
Yeah.
where you're going to get – they're going to come out, throw for 400 yards, 6 touchdowns, but then the next game they're going to throw 6 picks.
Yeah, but another thing with rookies though, they always the first year they go off, because no one's got film on them.
Yeah.
Look what Dak did. Look what Baker did last year. Look what Baker did last Sunday.
Yeah.
Which I
And I picked up OBJ, so I'm a little –
talked
Hey,
about that last year about how Baker was throwing interceptions and he can throw the ball good, he can have good games, but he's gonna throw you some picks. I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he also doesn't have the best line for him either, so that doesn't help. And then OBJ, you're gonna go off with him. He's got like a $350,000 watch on his wrist. He's gonna do good.
Did you see what he posted? He said, "Oh, it's a $350,000 watch. If I wasn't wearing that watch, they'd be talking about my socks." And it's like, no, dude. It's that the normal average man doesn't even make that much money, and you're wearing it on a football field where it could get.
What game does it break?
What do you mean?
How many games you give it till it breaks? Or do
Oh,
you
think he's gonna wear it?
Oh,
all
he said
year?
he's gonna wear it all year. But do you think he's gonna wear the same one all year?
I don't know. I bet he
And
does
who the
just go
hell
buy
makes a
another one.
watch that survives a NFL football game that's worth? Well, I guess that's why it's worth $350,000.
I tell you what, they don't win a game until he takes the watch off.
They're not gonna win a game. No, they'll win money against the Jets.
I feel like as a head coach, you have to come in and just be like, hey, take the watch.
Yeah,
off.
but then you end up in an Antonio Brown situation.
No, we're not getting there. Nope.
we can't,
We
I
can't
don't.
get-
Yeah, we're not. I don't know.
That whole thing was set up, and then this whole thing's happening, and so Bill's like, "What did I just do?"
you know, Bill's a lot like water. You just roll with it, you know. Be like
Usually
water.
I get out and I stand on the bank, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's like but for real, he's just rolling with the punches, man. And I mean, I hate to be like it, but he doesn't care what Antonio Brown does outside of his life. As long as he shows up to play football and doesn't, cause disturbances in the locker room. But dude, I really think, and I strongly do not support anything because I think Antonio Brown did it. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, it's a weird situation because it's a civil lawsuit, not a criminal.
Right. And people get blamed for stuff, but I mean, he's a little bit of a prick. Like, we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Dude is a fantastic football player.
He hired a social media group to get him out of Oakland.
Right.
It's kind of like that's like low tier stuff right there.
He made Derek Carr feel special for a little bit.
Oh my God,
But-
you sound like a bad boyfriend,
but-
dude.
Let's say that he gets to play. Who is going to stop that offense?
Nope.
They don't need him
Nobody.
anyways.
I agree, but who's going to stop him if he plays?
Nobody.
You
Kansas
can't.
City.
You,
No, their defense. I mean,
You're
I
gonna
don't
have
think
to
their defense can
outscore 'em.
stop them. Yeah, they would have to outscore them. Their
Think
defense.
Dallas Cowboys defense.
I mean, they have a good defense, but I don't know if you're gonna. They
Thank you.
don't know about their secondary. I mean,
have you ever seen someone try to cover Antonio Brown one-on-one?
but then
can't
you
do it.
you gotta guard Antonio, Julian, Josh Gordon, Dorsett, and it's like
You can't cover Julian Edelman one-on-one.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
They should just be kicked out of the league. It's not fair. It's cheating.
And you can't cover him one-on-one. You can't cover Julian, and Josh Gordon is a nightmare.
oh yeah.
I mean, he would have, and we won the Super Bowl, or not we. I got to quit saying that.
Yeah.
Where's that ring?
I'm a big,
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I'm a big Pats fan, but
From Arkansas.
from Arkansas. But
Bandwagon. No, I'm kidding.
that's
I'm
not
kidding.
true. I've been a fan since like 06, so everybody will put that.
See, here's
put that one to
my
rest.
thing. Everybody our age that's a Patriots fan, they were terrible before the 90s.
I agree.
They were god awful.
I didn't get into football till 06, and I just so happened to they had NFL Network, and so that I wanted to play football, so I was like, I need to learn something about it, and I started watching NFL Network, and I liked Tom Brady, and so that's kind of how that all went down. And for a long time, everybody hated. I loved it. I was like the only Patriots fan around, the only one, and when they beat the Seahawks, somewhere between the Seahawks and the Atlanta Super Bowl, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. And now I
Whoa.
can't even tell anybody I'm a Patriots fan around here because they're like, oh, you're a bandwagoner.
It's because all the records he's breaking. Like no one at Bill's. There's never been a coach to do this like Bill. There's never been a quarterback to do this like Tom Brady.
Well, I mean, to do it as good as Tom Brady, but Joe Montana was up there with him.
There hasn't been a dynasty like this ever.
What's the longevity?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you really can't compare it to anything.
But because you can't compare it to like Joe, because they beat the shit out of Joe. Like in his day, it was not like it wasn't like it like you couldn't last as long as Brady does now.
They didn't know all the stuff about a body that
you mean they didn't all turn weak?
If you look at Tom Brady's body pre-08, he was not going to play into his 40s pre-08. And
he was
if
not
you look
going to have Giselle as a wife either, but anyway.
But for real.
Okay, you can use that analogy, but also think about...
No, I'm talking about the diet, the things he learned.
Well, I get that, but at the same time, that wouldn't even matter back then because back then you could have suplexed somebody and it wasn't a flag. Like you could take your helmet and smash it over someone else's head and it wasn't a flag.
Yeah. But those are very specific hits. You're still getting beat up. Like every time you get hit is a hard hit.
Tom barely gets hit.
Because he's good.
Yeah, he's good at getting the ball out of his
He gets the
hand.
ball out
He's
on
good
time.
or his line's good.
He makes his line good because he knows how to shuffle through the pocket.
And Bill sets the plays up to get the ball out of his hands very early. I think Bill could win with any quarterback. That's just my opinion, though.
We will see after Tom's gone.
You could.
If he doesn't leave with them.
Here's my...
I would
if he's
love to
smart,
see,
he leaves when Tom leaves.
My opinion.
I would love to see Ryan Fitzpatrick go to the Patriots after Tom Brady and watch them like win a Super
I would be
Bowl.
a Patriots fan.
I think I totally agree that Tom Brady is Tom Brady because of Bill Belichick in that organization. But I think it's the perfect mesh of minds. I think Tom's in it 150% like Bill needs him to be. And you put that together, the dedication, and he taught him how to be a winner. I think Tom could go anywhere and be good now because of the skill sets he learned from Bill.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But he runs that offense perfectly. I mean, it's flawless. And it's like they just do everything at the highest percentage. Like they're like, okay, in this situation, what gives us the best odds, and that's what they're going to do. And then at the end of the game, they're going to see where the chips fall. They're not going to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
my thing with Tom is I agree that the Patriots wouldn't be as good as they are now without Bill and Tom. But I think Tom was going to go anywhere and win. He showed it because he showed it in college that he was a winner. Like when they would pull him out, when they were down, they needed to win. They'd put him in there and he would win.
He's definitely got the clutch gene.
Yes, I will say.
Yeah, he's been like that since college.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I think he would be more like a Drew Brees. He would not win.
Oh,
he
yeah.
would not have gotten so many straight
Well,
Super Bowls.
if Drew Brees was in New England, they'd be doing the
same thing. It's
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
what I'm saying. It's a lot of Bill.
I hate the Saints. And I hate Saints fans.
Hey, that was a
Drew
good
Brees
game.
is an amazing quarterback.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's a handful of them that you could have thrown in there and they would have done just as good. But it's those fourth quarter situations. Tom, man, you just know he's going to get it done. And in the last few Super Bowls that he had to get it done in, those were some passes. He didn't have the receivers that he needed, especially this last one.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he was way outgunned, and he just gets the matchups right, and always makes the play where he needs to make it.
That's where good coaching comes in, and good receivers that listen to the coaches who run the right routes.
That Gronk
right,
play.
but you got to have the timing, dude, and you got to.
Well, yeah, that's why he likes practice so much. He wants to always throw with them.
It's all of it,
it's
but it's
chemistry.
infectious. It's infectious. The receivers come there and they see how Tom acts, and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get out of here if I can't cut it."
That offense feeds off of that.
Yeah. And everybody does a fantastic job. That's across the board.
I think it also boils down to it's like Tom Brady lets them yell at him as well.
Yeah, he's coachable.
Well, not just coachable.
What do you mean?
He means like Bill Belichick will chew Tom Brady's ass if he messes up. And the fact that they can come into a practice and like everybody that's underneath Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, they'll see him yell at Tom Brady and they're like, oh, anybody can get it. Anybody can get yelled at here. So you have to work your hardest.
And puts Tom on the same level as everybody else. And I think
nobody gets treated
that's what Bill does a good job of, and he puts everybody on the same level. And I think that really helps with like a team chemistry.
I can see that.
Because if you have somebody that thinks they're like way more important than everybody else, I could see that, causing problems. Like, not even if it's not known, it could still, like, people still might have problems with it.
Yeah. But enough of the Patriots.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, but the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Just going to throw that out there.
It's one game against the
I
New
think
York
they
Giants.
could. I think the Cowboys could. They have a good defense and they have a good
really
offense.
They had the number 3 defense last year. They didn't lose anybody.
That's last year.
Did not lose anybody. More experience.
Yeah.
The offense, we have a powerful offense too. I mean, Randall Cobb, Amari Cooper, Gallup is really starting to get out of his shell.
Jason Witten's
back. I mean,
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree that y'all have great players and y'all have great people that come back.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, it was one game, so we don't really know where y'all stand at.
I think they can tell.
It looked really good.
I was talking about it before. Like, I'm not the biggest Cowboys fan, but I do like them, and I like Dak and I like Zeke, and I just think their offense is really good and their defense is really good. They have a great linebacking core. They have a great defensive line. They have some one
of the best offensive lines,
secondary.
And this is another thing that people don't think about. They got a new offensive coordinator who has changed the plays up completely. So no one's not going to be used to what's going to be called this year.
Yeah, and I've seen like him and Dak, the new offensive coordinator and Dak, they just work really well together. Is what I've heard. What I've seen.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
I
mean, he backed Dak up for a little bit too. So he also backed Tony up, and when he played, we were terrible.
I mean, there's plenty of NFC teams that could win the Super Bowl. It's like, but the
Rams, the
AFC
Vikings.
teams, you got like the Patriots and the Ravens. Patriots, Chiefs, and Ravens are probably your front runners right now, and Steelers. But
I don't know. I don't think they have it anymore.
I don't know how the Chargers did. Did they win or lose?
I think they
won. They won in overtime.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
won.
who looked good was the Raiders looked real good.
I think they were just.
They really.
Let's
did.
go back to how
because
Derek
Carr looked good, but you don't know if he's.
But if Derek
Yes.
Carr looks good, I'm optimistic about the Raiders because when he's garbage,
He's just not consistent.
they're garbage. But it's seasonal. I think it's how he's jiving with his offensive coordinator.
This could be a good season for him.
That's what I was getting at. Is he look like old Derek Carr, not last year's Derek Carr?
Yeah, and Flacco just sucks too. That was awful. That was an awful performance.
Yeah, but nobody likes Joe Flacco.
Awful.
Everybody already.
Broncos again.
I hate Joe
with their quarterbacks. Terrible.
Why can't they get a good quarterback?
He only goes after really tall white guys. Swear. That's
He's
all he
the
wants.
luckiest person in football. He just always just lobs it up, and somehow they're just.
But that was back with the Ravens. Like,
I know.
He's not gonna.
Oh, trust me, I know. When they won that Super Bowl.
Trust me, yeah, I know too.
So, what'd you guys think about UFC 242?
I don't even know which one that one is.
That was the Khabib
That
and
was-
Dustin.
Oh, I didn't
Mainly
watch
just
it.
Khabib Poirier. You didn't even watch the highlights?
No, because I knew who won and how, and it's not surprising. It's boring when he does that. That's why McGregor was a lot more money maker than he is.
You find that boring? You don't find that just like ultimate?
No, I don't. It's. I mean, I
This is
I
why
respect
Dana has
it,
his
but
favorites in the UFC.
I respect it, but it's not fun to watch.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
not
so
saying-
dominant that it's like dull that he can just pull that out at any time and just stomp somebody's ass.
Yeah, he's not gonna like. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get in a ring and box somebody and knock him out. I mean,
He's definitely not going to do
Why
that.
would
no.
He rocked McGregor.
Yeah,
He
but that was
did,
because
but,
McGregor
yeah.
was looking for his takedowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time,
there was
it's not just Khabib being dominant doing that. It's any fighter that does that. I'm not a big fan of.
I was watching a Khabib fight. I forgot who it was, and he was trying to stand up, and he was getting his butt whooped. I mean, but I can't remember who it was.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I can't think.
I don't know his
I
name
can't
either.
think of it.
Who was
Good
trying
job,
to
Chase.
stand
Way to
up?
chime
It was
Khabib was trying to stay up.
Oh,
with the guy.
it's probably the Ally Quinta fight.
Was it the
He-
one before McGregor?
No.
I think it was somebody that because I don't know if I know him, but I think it was somebody like more known. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, see if you can find it, because I don't know which fight you're talking about. I know the Ally Quinta fight, he had to stand up a little bit more than usual, but he ended up getting it done.
So what it sounds like is that y'all are more of watching these to just see
A knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
that's
don't you
pretty
No,
much.
no.
I mean, why don't you go back to boxing? I mean,
It's not near as brutal.
so you just want to see
Boxing's
like
more
ground
of a
and pound knockouts.
yes. I want to see a bloody fight. When you
Vicious.
boxing is way too technical. You don't really see that many. I mean, unless it's like.
Well, and they got the big gloves. It's hard to knock out with those
Yeah.
gloves.
I mean, you're only shooting from the waist up,
And you're not using the legs. Muay Thai's. If you want to watch knockouts, go watch some Muay Thai. That's where you watch some people get knocked out.
UFC is still better.
Well, I'm not. I agree, but I'm saying that is.
It's a certain fight.
If you want to watch some striking, go watch Muay Thai tournaments. But the deal with Khabib, man, is I mean, you got to give it to him. He's playing the smartest game. He's a wrestler, so he's using his wrestling, and he's like they say he wrestles with DC.
Yeah, I mean, DC says he's heavy for his weight.
Well, yeah, he feels heavy.
Yeah, but
because he's so good at wrestling, he uses. I mean, he's one of the only people that you see wrapping up the legs. I watched a girl on the same card. I don't know which chick it was.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's still not as fun to watch.
I agree with
you. It was the Michael Johnson fight.
Oh, Michael Johnson.
Which, like, at first, when they were standing up, Michael Johnson looked really good. And then he took it to the ground and then dominated.
And then they just figure out because they I mean, it's not a secret how to beat Khabib. You got to keep your distance and keep it on the feet.
Stay off the ground.
And stay off the ground, but you can't do it. He gets one, and he's so good at keeping his distance and not getting hit when he's trying to come in, and he'll just wait and wait and wait so he doesn't end up like Ben Askren.
Well, he fought a grizzly bear.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, the only way you're going to be able to beat him is because his wrestling is so high level that these people, like, if you look at who he's fought, the majority of them are strikers. They have striking backgrounds. I mean, you look at Conor, you look at Michael Johnson, Edson Barboza. He has almost no ground game. And so, I mean, when you're in like that, you're going to have a wrestling background to be able to keep up with the level of wrestling he's doing. I mean, you're going to have to wrestle your whole life because he just knows how to move his entire body to get you where he wants you. And Poirier is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he almost had him in a guillotine, but he got his distance, and he got out of it. But I'm telling you, he's not going to get out of it against Tony Ferguson.
No, that's what I was going to say. This real test is going to be Tony Ferguson, I think.
If they let him fight. I don't think he wants to fight Tony.
Why?
Because he knows Tony's got his number.
Why do you think Tony? I don't know.
Because he's really good on the
Ferguson
ground,
but
like super.
You still
good
don't think
ground,
that he'd take that fight?
Okay, is he
Khabib?
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to take that fight.
He may not want to, but you don't think that he will?
I mean, he's already said that Tony Ferguson should be the next guy.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I want him to take that fight.
I would like to because I think he's going to lose.
There's
if he
nobody.
takes that fight.
There's nobody at 55 that can beat Khabib besides Tony Ferguson because Tony is a wrestler. He grew up wrestling. That's his background. And then he's using Eddie Bravo's jiu-jitsu, which is the best against MMA. His rubber guard's amazing. And I'm telling you that Tony's guillotine would have stuck. Tony does some crazy shit off his back. He'll throw elbows off his back, and he's not scared to do something crazy. And that is the difference. And there's a good chance that he's not even going to be able to take Tony to the ground if he doesn't want to. And Tony, his gas tank is phenomenal. He's got the biggest gas tank of anybody. Like, he does not get tired, and I think he can sit there and take that.
I think
agree.
McGregor will beat him next fight in Moscow in his hometown.
I think that would be amazing. That'd be pretty cool if McGregor did come out and then they're knock him out or something, and then they would hang McGregor in the street.
I was about to say that.
Dance around his body.
You think McGregor's going to beat who?
McGregor's going to beat him in Moscow, and then the city of Moscow is going to kill McGregor after the fight.
Conor McGregor can never beat Khabib. He just doesn't have it in his wheelhouse. You're going to have like 15 years plus of wrestling to be able to beat him. But I will tell you,
I think Conor McGregor's a really smart fighter. He's really quick on his feet. And I think he can stay away if he truly wants to. The fame got to his head that last fight.
I mean, we don't know. I agree with you.
I agree with both. I see where you're coming from. He doesn't have like the sheer will to keep him off of him, and that's the case with a lot of people. Can't keep Khabib off of him and get him to the ground. But if he could, then he could maybe hit him and then knock him out.
It was similar,
but
to
it's going to be hard to. But Khabib just way much better than Diaz.
Khabib's like the Patriots
on the ground.
Don't do that.
No, listen.
Don't do that.
John Jones is like the Patriots.
No, what I'm getting at here, is Khabib takes the smartest route to beating his opponent. He doesn't get hit.
He's a robot.
Right. But
He is a Russian robot.
I'm saying, like, it's like the best way to go about it. You never get punched in the face, but I'm telling you, Khabib will not move up to 170 because there are some killers at 170, and he doesn't want any of that in wrestling.
Name one.
Kamar Usman,
just
wrestling background. Colby Covington is almost the same. I hate Colby Covington.
I love Colby Covington.
But he is almost the same thing as Khabib, except he can strike. And then you've got Ben Askren, which I've wanted to see those two wrestle for years. And
is
then
that the Afro dude?
Yeah.
The one who got knocked out in 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Mr. Funky.
But his grappling
he is very ugly.
Yeah. Tyron Woodley, wrestling background. I just named 5 killers that I don't think Khabib could beat because I think they're better strikers than him.
And they're heavier, and they would be able to. They'd be able. I think they'd be able to work them.
Yeah, but they say he wrestles with Daniel Cormier. So what do you do?
Yeah, but how do you know Cormier's not taking it easy?
I'm ready for this Diaz Jorge fight.
Ooh.
I think that should be good. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I think
Diaz is a beast.
I think Diaz is going to win just because, it's Nate Diaz.
Yeah, I don't want to count out Nate Diaz because he's...
Don't do it.
I didn't think he was going to come back and win the fight that he just did against Anthony Pettis. I mean, he was out, they said like 3 years he was out of fighting and come back to fight Pettis and beat him and fight in the 3 rounds.
Pretty well.
Yeah, didn't he go to the decision?
Yeah, but he owned the fight.
Yeah.
He was working him on the cage, moving him around net, and they didn't go to the ground. Anthony Pettis he's a striker.
And I think that makes it look more impressive for Nate Diaz to go those 3 rounds.
I agree. But,
and
Jorge
still win.
Is no joke. And everyone says that George is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the UFC. And, dude, it's going to be a bloodbath. They're not going to give 2 craps. They're
going to beat the shit out of each other.
Basically. And it's a 5-round fight. Which is what they both wanted. So
it's a 5-round. Oh,
yeah.
We all heard that, huh?
I'm gonna go fix it.
Yeah, just bring him in here. You're good. We'll keep talking.
Lay down. Dang it, Cody.
So, anyways, what do y'all think about Cowboy and Gaethje? Y'all don't know much about
So,
Gaethje.
I don't know Gaethje. Yeah, I don't.
I just watched a little bit on Gaethje. It's just hard to tell on what kind of style, from what I watched, what kind of style of fighter he is and stuff, and how he's going to match up with Donald Cerrone. But I'm a huge Cowboy fan.
I am as well.
So I really want to see Cowboy come back out there and get some revenge off of what happened to him last time.
Who beat him last time? Who was
he? Ran into the brick wall that is Tony Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
You can't blame him for that. And
No.
that's you can bring him in here, dude.
I'll just keep him in the cage. I told him he's a bad boy.
Oh. It checks his dog keeps barking. So anyway, Cowboy, he was on a roll, but I knew the whole time, man. He definitely could have beat anybody at 155 and still can, except for Khabib and Tony.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to get a belt with those two hanging over there. And I felt bad for him because he is hot, and he's probably doing some of the best work he's ever done in his life. But you got Khabib and Tony.
And I think at this point he's pretty old right now.
I think he's like 36.
He's getting old.
I think he's doing it for the money too right now to help his family.
He's been around the block a couple times. I don't think it's.
He's got a lot of sponsorships, man.
Yeah.
I think he
he's
wants
not
that belt, dude. He's never had a title.
He's not doing it for the money, because if he was doing it for the money, he would have just stayed at Fight Night. just every fight night he'd get like 15 grand or something, and you do like 4 of those a year. No big deal, but he's just trying to get back into.
That's not
a lot of money.
I mean that's 60 grand. It's
I don't
livable.
Think, I don't
math,
think that's
quick
a
math.
cowboy living style.
Yeah.
He probably gets like 50
Did you see
grand a
his house,
fight.
though?
That's what I'm saying. When you're on these pay-per-view
Y'all
fights,
see
you
where
get a
he's
lot.
He gets a lot of
lot
sponsors
of
though.
money.
I haven't seen his house.
He's
What does
been.
his wife do?
He was on an episode of It's Always Sunny.
Nothing.
Exactly. And you have kids.
He was.
And you're living the lifestyle of a fighter.
I haven't seen his house. Is it small? Is that what you're getting at? He lives on a ranch.
He was on an episode of It's Always Sunny.
Was it funny?
It was very funny.
I can
Well, anyway.
see that.
Yeah, shit.
Justin Gaethje, he comes with a lot of pressure, and
This is his house. He just lives like a simple man, so he does not need that much money.
Yeah,
you
more
think-
than
He's-
60,000.
you think Cowboy?
Well, okay, I may be off on the numbers.
I bet he gets his
But-
ass beat for 15 grand a night.
I mean, he
Yeah.
might.
I'm just
but
joking. He's
I mean,
probably
look at
That's a nice house.
that. I hate.
Lock the phone.
There you go.
That's nice right there, boy.
He's just a bare necessities kind of guy.
Okay, but all that land that he has.
It's not bare necessity.
Do you know how much land taxes are?
I
How
do
much do you
know
think that
that
land
he
costs?
says
A million.
He's probably already owned it at this point.
Well,
Maybe.
how long? Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
I'm gonna pull
Whatever.
Whatever.
he does have a chef that cooks for him every day. So I
That's
imagine.
that's where I'm coming from.
So that chef's probably making at least 50 or 60 grand a year.
That's where I'm coming from on that. It's not the fact of what he lives in, where he lives at, but the lifestyle of a fighter. You have to stay in shape.
I'm trying.
You're not working every single day, so you're not making money every single day. So you got to make that 15,000 last, and that's before taxes.
I'm trying to have a personal chef. I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
but
that.
I don't think
I'm
that
trying
you
to get
have
there.
that chef 100% of the time if you're just you in fight nights against people that you're obviously.
I'm not just
outscaling.
talking about the chef though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just obviously.
All right.
All right. All right.
I'm just saying it'd be expensive to live that lifestyle.
What lifestyle?
To be a fighter.
You're fighting people that are basically just getting out of taekwondo class.
Okay.
Is that all it is, Preston?
Please sign up for Taekwondo for a year and get in the ring and fight somebody.
I don't think anybody uses Taekwondo too much in the ring. I did see Tony use some Wing Chun against Anthony Pettis, though.
What's
it was
a
pretty
Wing
wild.
Chun?
You've never seen a Wing Chun doll? Y'all give me a minute.
Everybody Wing Chun tonight.
Wait, is it a real doll?
No, it's a martial art.
And now coming to the ring, very well knowledged in Taekwondo, Preston Barr.
Hey, I'm just saying, if I was a 5-star black belt, I don't know what they do on those belts, but if I was the top black belt in taekwondo, I would go out there and whoop somebody's ass.
No.
Somebody.
I was a black belt.
There's somebody's ass that I can whoop out.
You're going to need to be a
Dude.
black belt in a few things.
I was a black belt and I couldn't go whoop anybody's ass. In like the 6th grade, I got a black belt. It's not that hard.
That's like a fake black belt.
It was a black belt.
Yeah,
It was
I
real.
bought one at Walmart too, man.
I didn't buy it at Walmart. I earned this in Taekwondo in Benton on Military Road. ATA.
I don't think you can do that.
I even did a competition one time. And yeah, probably not. But no, I did a competition one time and we got there and it's just when I got into like where you actually kick and hit and stuff. I fought one guy and I started crying and told my mom I want to go home.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's the
the
same
checks I know.
Same checks that did that kind of stuff.
It wasn't fun. Those
This
guys
is
were
a
good.
this is a Wing Chun doll.
Why is it called a doll?
It looks like Joe Rogan.
Is Joe Rogan
Is
a
Joe
Wing
Rogan
Chun?
on the screen?
Yeah, we're watching him talk about something. I don't know.
Is it the Wing Chun?
So where'd the name come from?
It's a martial art.
But where'd the name come from?
I don't know from where they
That's
invented
a piece of wood.
Yeah, but it's the way you move around it. But nobody uses that because it's not really very effective. But
Well,
he
Because you can't move human arms like you're moving that wood plank.
well the principle what they're trying to do is they're trying to trap your arms and then like he took Anthony Pettis' hands and he trapped them and then elbowed him in one motion.
Hayden just snaps you.
No, it's back to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. And I was a black belt, and I would get stuff like that. So
A lot of things don't make sense to you.
There's him about to use
false.
Let's see this Wing Chun.
It's just one move. But the fact that he did in a UFC fight against another top-notch fighter.
He just got clocked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. But anyway, we
We haven't seen it yet.
We don't know if we've seen it yet.
I'm pretty sure you've seen it.
He's got a receding hairline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
we're
yeah.
watching
We
it.
definitely
It's
passed.
on right
It
now.
looks like Preston.
That's not it, Preston.
Well, it's nice having you, Chex. You can get the fuck out.
Whoa.
Heyo.
We're cutting it.
That's not on the agenda.
So what are we missing?
College.
College football. How about them Hogs?
They suck.
Who's the starter? What was his name? Nick
Nick
Starkel.
starting this weekend. Ben
Yeah.
Hicks has been starting for some weird reason.
Is Nick Starkel? Do we have any reason to believe that he's any better than Ben Hicks?
He's
Yeah.
from the SEC.
So let me just put it this way. Yeah, he came from Texas A&M.
Highly recruited
That's good.
quarterback.
He was-
That's good.
He was
Broke their
talk out of Texas A&M by one of the players that's already on Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like
Rakeem?
buddies back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rakeem. And so he talked him into coming to Arkansas. So he came. He was like going to be second string there or something. In the first 2 games of the season, in the first game he only played 2 snaps at the end of halftime, and it looked really bad on him. He threw not 2 snaps, not 2 snaps. He was going down the field and then he threw an interception.
Yeah, he threw it straight.
not
to
good.
Yeah, it was
No.
It was. I think
It was
his
pretty
first,
bad.
It was his first throw.
I don't think it was his first throw.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he had like 2 throws in by that point.
Either way, it was awful. It was against Portland State, an FCS school, so
But he got down there, and that throw, it just looked really bad because it didn't look like it was going to anybody on our team.
Yeah.
There was a linebacker, and it was sitting behind a ref. But either way, who are you throwing to in that situation? Just picked it off. Then last week, I wasn't able to watch the whole game, but from the stat line, he got quite a few yards. Did pretty decent in the second half.
he completely changed the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
Who are they playing this weekend?
Colorado State.
Oh, I got you.
Team
We're
last
favored
year.
by, I think, 10.5 or something like that.
Are their receivers worth anything? I've watched last week a little bit, but
Arkansas
Yeah.
receivers? Yeah, they're freshmen.
I got you.
So, I mean,
They're highly touted, though. We
Yeah.
got 2 good ones in
Well,
Trey Knox and Traylon Burks.
I think they got a little bit of the jitter still, too, because they dropped a lot of passes they shouldn't have the last couple of weeks. Then again, Ben Hicks is not a good quarterback. He overthrew a ton of passes off mark.
Well, I hope the best for him. I always hope the best for Arkansas.
I hope we
but you
win,
just
but
never
only by a
know.
touchdown this weekend.
So they only played the second half of last week, and he's
You don't
already
think
got
Ben
more
Hicks is
passing.
No. He threw for like
Sorry.
98
But he was really good at
yards.
SMU.
No, he was not. Okay, so here's the main reason Ben Hicks started. Ben Hicks started because he knew the offense. Starkel didn't get there till the beginning of the school year, so he missed all of spring football. But after last week's game, when Ben Hicks started, he only threw for 98 yards, and then Starkel came in and threw for like 200 yards, and the tempo looked a lot better. It all around looked better. I still don't think we have what it takes. I think we win 3 games this year.
Not like them Longhorns.
And I was hoping for some improvement, but I don't see it. Defense is terrible. It doesn't look good on us.
I think we'll find out a lot more about the team after this week. Once they come out and they play, we'll at least be able to see something. We'll put something on some game film on Nick Starkel and how the team reacts whenever he's at quarterback. Because, that does affect it.
Yeah.
Like, it affects defense just as much as it affects people on offense. Whenever they know that they have Ben Hicks starting, they're like, well, we saw this guy practice all year long. And retake.
All right, go ahead.
We're going to bleep that out.
But you got defense that has been seeing Ben Hicks practice all year long, and they know what he's capable of. They know what Nick Starkel is. They just don't get as much motivated whenever they see him go in because they're like, our time is wasted here on defense. we can stop them, but we know this quarterback already.
Yeah.
So I think it might change the whole dynamic on the defense
Yeah.
side as well. We might look a lot better than what we had.
They might get actually a rest.
So from these
Yeah,
first
very
2
true.
weeks of college football, who do y'all think is going to be in the playoffs? For sure,
Okay,
for
Clemson,
sure,
Alabama.
for sure, Clemson, Alabama. I think Clemson, Alabama. My top 4 right now are Clemson, Alabama, LSU, and probably Ohio State. I would like to see Texas in there. I think they could if they win out. They could have a chance because
Oklahoma
they
will end up there.
lost to. I don't think Oklahoma will. They're not. Their offense isn't as good, and their defense isn't really that good. And
I think Georgia's going to make it back this year, honestly, because
Georgia could.
They got a lot of good skill players.
I like Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been there for like 10 years.
I know it. How old is he?
I think
he's at
this is his junior year.
Yeah, it's only his junior year.
I started watching that QB1 show on Netflix, and he's on that first season.
Can somebody check his records? I feel like we're getting.
It's pretty good. Well, since Kirby's smart.
No, I mean like I'm talking about like his school records on how long he's been there.
He's 43.
No, but yeah, Clemson. I think Alabama wins it this year.
No, Clemson's going to win it this year.
They're not near as good.
The only thing that I think is going to
They're
happen
just
that
as good.
could possibly
No.
keep Alabama out of it is the fact that it's going to be probably Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship.
I don't think Alabama's offense is going to be that good this year against good teams. They haven't played anybody good so far this year.
Yeah, we don't just we. It's the same thing.
Okay,
Um,
that's them every
as the
year,
first
though.
3 weeks. You just don't know though.
Supposedly they're a lot faster this year, and Clemson's D line does not look near as powerful as it was, and their offensive line does not look that good. I don't think Clemson has what it takes to win it this year.
I think Ohio State could. I like
quarterback-
Ohio State.
That quarterback's good,
Quarterback and their defense is good too.
but no, I mean I could honestly Texas has a shot. All
If
because
they
lost this
if they
week. I
win
mean,
out,
if
if they win every single game from here on out, and I think they could. The hardest team they'll play is going to be Oklahoma, and then they played a really good game to LSU. They beat themselves. It sucks, but I think if they win out, they could have a chance at being. If Oklahoma wins out besides Texas, and they stay at like top 5, then that gives Texas that chance to beat them and get shot back up to the top 5, top 4, and then hope for somebody to lose or something. I think they could still get in top 4 as long as they win out, and I think they could win out as long as they beat Oklahoma.
I guess we can agree that this is probably not Michigan's year,
no.
like a lot of people.
Actually,
I mean, they could come out-
Tom Brady has
a lot of
posted
people
it.
still have them
Yeah.
as a top 4.
Yeah,
top
they
5
could come
team.
out next couple weeks and look really good.
Let's not forget, Army's really good.
They're
Well,
tough.
hey, we'll
bunch
find
of-
out this weekend when they
bunch
play
of gritty
Wisconsin.
cadets out there.
No, but I can see LSU
The Veer
and
is no
Texas
joke.
playing
LSU
each other in a bowl.
Yeah, I could see LSU and Texas playing.
They're not good, Preston. They have shown no improvement. They are doing just as bad, if not worse, than last year.
Yeah,
it
I mean the only
sucks.
thing is, did they lose? Yeah, they lost.
I'm
last
trying to be
week, but-
optimistic about it, but after last
I
weekend,
can't because I haven't watched anything.
like
That's
after.
what sucks.
Okay, so remember we went to the game last year at Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Good game. We were in that game. We were in a couple games last year. We were not in this game like whatsoever.
No.
well, yeah, but that's Ben Hicks' problem.
That was a first half problem. We weren't down by that much
No.
at halftime. Like he doesn't understand the full playbook either. Like there were some plays where Chad Morris came out and said he completely threw it to the wrong side on some trick plays. Chad Morris's play calling is not that good. I think he stepped into the SEC thinking it wouldn't be that big of a deal and is realizing, holy crap, what did I get into?
Get old Bobby Petrino back.
Hey.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I would take him.
Hell yeah! Every Arkansas fan would.
Standing ovation at
Oh
the
God!
touchdown
yeah.
club.
Yes.
But no, Chad Morris, and same thing with Ben Hicks. I think if they knew what they know now about the SEC, they would take their butts back to SMU in a heartbeat. He's a 38 win percentage in college football, and we hired him in the SEC.
Is that including last year?
That's including his whole college career.
So it's
Whole
including
college
last year,
career.
Is that
I'm not
just
saying
as
he's a
head
bad coach.
too, though?
No, so
That's almost 50%, Peyton.
shut up.
Is that just as a head coach?
Yeah, I mean, but listen,
Well, I mean, he's only taught as a head coach at one school.
taught.
What is he teaching? Health or math or history?
You know, it's-
How to be a
it's
head coach
geometry.
101.
But okay, so to my point
Head
on that
coach
is,
class.
you're in the SEC. Why do you hire someone that's not proven?
Okay, but
'Cause you're
you
Arkansas.
have to find that young guy before somebody else can snag on them. Because what makes it
Or-
to where Arkansas is going to be able to?
Or we should have got rid of Brett Bielema a year earlier when all the coaches were looking to leave somewhere else and picked up that. There's a coach out there that would have came to an SEC school
Yeah,
that got hired elsewhere.
They could have got rid of him when Charlie Strong was looking for a place.
We're going to pass on that.
Do you see what he's doing with with UCF? They're top 25 the past 2 years.
Frost did that.
What?
With UCF, Scott Frost made that a good program.
Charlie Strong's been there for like the past 2 or 3 years, and he's been top 25 the past 2 or 3 years.
Scott Frost was there 2 years ago. Literally 2
Charlie
years
Strong
ago.
was been there for 2. This will be his either second or third year, and I want to say it's his
It's
second.
his second because Frost was went there when they beat Auburn and they claimed their championship and got a banner and everything, and then he went off to Nebraska and he's just laying a goose egg there.
Charlie Strong has had UCF, and I think he had him in top 10 last year for the good majority of the year.
That's the players that Scott Frost drafted. He had them undefeated.
Okay, chicks.
Promise you. But back to Chad.
Oh, so was he still going to the games and coaching?
Okay, but it's still the players.
Did he coach? Did he secretly go to the games these past 2 years
Probably.
and coach? Oh, okay.
Probably. But anyways, on Chad Morris, I don't know. I don't think he. I think there's a lot to it too. Because at SMU, I think the media also gets to his head too. Because SMU, he didn't deal with media.
Yeah, I think he could definitely, work around that a lot better too.
But
I still think that he is going to step up. I have more faith in Chad Morris than I ever did with Brett Bielema.
I can say that. Obviously, I'm going to give him another more than 2 years.
Yeah.
All I wanted was improvement this year, but I don't see it.
Yeah, not yet.
He's actually
that's for sure. But we still have a lot of football left.
So he
to
can
play.
recruit. That's what I like about the guy. He can
Yeah.
recruit the big name people,
Yeah.
the 4 and 5 stars. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you can coach them. So him as a coordinator would be awesome. He was really good at Clemson as a coordinator.
Yeah.
Charlie Strong's actually coaching at USF now.
And
I
they
don't know when that
are
is.
trash.
What's USF?
It's the
University
green
of
one.
Southern Florida. Yeah.
UCF
Oh,
is
yeah.
gold and black. USF is like green and white. But I still think that at the end of his Arkansas tenure, whenever that is, whether it's 4 years from now or 13 years from now, I think he'll still look a lot better than what Brett Bielema did for us. I never
Brett
thought
Bielema
Brett
was
Bielema
terrible.
was ever going to lead us to anything more.
He's got him a Super Bowl ring, though.
I think if I was going to pick up any coach for Arkansas, I probably would have went with Darren McFadden.
You can step out of this conversation.
It's been fun talking to you, Kellen. Anyway.
No, Brett Bielema did win him a Super Bowl ring, though, last year.
Sure did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeet, yeet.
So
He has that on all of Arkansas.
who got the last laugh?
Well, he has 2 Rose Bowls. I'm pretty sure he's got 1 or 2 Rose Bowl championships too.
With Nebraska? Or was that where
Wisconsin.
he was?
But
Yes.
Ohio State was, I think they were banned from going to bowl games. So, or something happened.
Yeah, they were. That's when they got in that trouble.
Yeah. So I don't know. Arkansas is just terrible. It sucks. It's terrible being a fan of Arkansas.
We do have basketball coming up.
You can be a Texas fan.
I tell you what,
I
though,
thought about it.
those
Hey, my application's out.
those Instagram pages and stuff that have Arkansas all over it, like the football and the basketball and stuff, they do a hell of a job of getting you into like wanting to
get
watch
you.
them. Okay, so nobody else in Arkansas wants to watch any Arkansas games because of fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
No.
Yeah.
But all right. So how many games do you think we win this year? Honestly,
4. Maybe 3.
you're giving 4.
I'm going to go with 3, but I think they could do 4.
I had us at 6,
Okay,
but
I
I think
can
we
see
gave
4.
up one of the ones that we.
Okay,
that
so
had
I don't
counted
think we will win an SEC. I could be completely wrong about that, but as of right now, I don't think we win an SEC game at all.
Ole Miss was their only chance to get
Yeah,
an SEC
and
win. Well, is
what,
Mizzou
31
is
to 2?
Mizzou any good this year?
Yeah, Kelly Bryant looked
Oh,
awesome.
damn.
last
Ole Miss was
weekend.
the only easy fight win. is what
Well,
it looked
granted,
like.
they played West Virginia. Okay, so Ole
We're gonna
Miss
have to
lost.
play
or
our
not
asses
Ole Miss. Missouri lost to Wyoming, but then they played West Virginia last weekend, and they destroyed West Virginia. I mean, Kelly Bryant looked good. He threw for 400 yards in their loss against Wyoming. But we're not going to stand a chance in the SEC. San Jose State, hopefully we beat. I don't see us beating Colorado State.
I think they could. I mean, we'll see. But
I mean,
I'm not saying that they can't, but I don't see it happening. I don't.
But we also still got to play Kentucky too, and Western Kentucky.
I think Kentucky could beat us.
yeah, Kentucky doesn't look just too bad.
I
Who
think
else we got to play?
I think they're better than Ole Miss.
We playing Tennessee this year.
No.
They're definitely better than
Vanderbilt.
Portland.
We play Vanderbilt every year, right?
And then we might be able to beat Western Kentucky. I don't know. After what? So my thing is after seeing I know it's the first game of the year, but that's an FCS school, and we won by 7. We were ahead by 4 at halftime? That's terrible. That is the worst team we'd play all year.
You're still bringing it back to Portland State whenever we still have Ben Hicks as a starting quarterback. I'm saying we still have to see what Nick Starkel can
How
do
the whole
before
team
we can
reacts.
figure out how the rest of the team's going to go.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you really need to before you judge your team, you got to go through at least 3 or 4 quarterbacks that year to make sure they're going to be good.
I hope not.
I hate you so much.
But for real,
That's another thing.
But for real, Preston's right. You can't judge the team until you see how the whole energy goes with the starter, because even if 5 players on the defense or 4 players on the defense just don't come with their A game because they're not feeling it because of what Preston's talking about.
That's a coaching issue, though.
You're not.
No, it's
not a
it's
coaching
the
issue.
it's
You
the
got
Blake
a quarterback that
time
can't
out.
play your system.
It's the Blake Bortles effect.
He's the freaking GOAT.
You're just not gonna. Your team's gonna get pissed off eventually when they're like, I keep stopping this offense and you keep throwing picks.
You can't.
Okay, he's not okay. First, so he wasn't. He's not doing terrible. I mean, okay,
Who?
okay. He's terrible.
Who?
Ben Hicks. He's terrible. He's terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he's just turning the ball over like that. He's a very conservative quarterback.
Yeah, but
he doesn't
in college
look to
football,
score. I'm telling you.
I don't know much about college, but I do know from watching that you're not going to win games by being conservative. You're not going to win 10-3
That's why
ball
no one
games.
wanted him to start.
I agree with you. I'm saying that, in the NFL, you can be a game manager, but in college, you're not going to get anywhere that way because you're not going to win 10-3 games consistently.
The Hogs are not going to win consistently until they put Jones in at quarterback.
Stephen Jones.
Jerry Jones' grandson, yeah.
I agree. No, and then another
Greg
thing I think about
Jones
Chad
name.
too, that I'm not saying this is true by any means, but what he kind of proved to himself, he plays favorites. He brought Ben Hicks here. I think he had a hard time telling Ben Hicks, you're not starting. I think the only reason Nick Starkel is starting this week is because of the pressure from the fans, and I'm sure Hunter Yurachek is whispering something in his ear, because after that game, you should have been like, after that performance of Nick, he's going to start. He was getting very pissed when people were asking him who was going to start. And I think Ben is one of his favorites. I mean, he brought him in from SMU. He knows it's his last year. He knows he has Nick next year. So that's why I think he wanted to keep Ben Hicks in.
I know we're trying to wrap things up, but did y'all see Hunter Henry got hurt again?
Oh, dude, that
Again,
sucks.
yeah. It's like, God.
I did not see that. What did he hurt?
His knee.
Yeah, he's out.
Like
I don't think it's. I don't think it's. I don't
He
think it's.
fractured his kneecap.
Yeah.
Was it
Hunter Yurachek
ACL
did
last
too.
year?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it was the last 2 years it was ACL, wasn't it?
I don't know about 2, but I know last year. But I don't
He's
know.
been in the league for 3, hasn't he?
I think so. I think the
Yeah.
first year he was
Splitting.
somewhat healthy.
His
Yeah, I
first
know
year
he
was
was-
mostly Antonio
Yeah,
Gates.
but I thought he got hurt, but I could be wrong.
I thought he was going to be pretty good too
He
I
was.
think
He is when he's
yeah.
healthy.
with
so-
Phillip Rivers.
Question. 3rd year in, he still hasn't played a full season. Do you think he's going to play long?
No, he'll be. I mean, I'll
I
be
didn't-
surprised if he
This
plays
is
another
it.
full season.
That's what I was thinking. This is your second knee injury.
It's just hard on your body, man.
Yeah.
And he's such a big deal around here. He doesn't have to. He can sell ads and do whatever.
Oh, he's already making a crap ton of money.
That's what I'm
Have you
saying.
seen what Gronk came out and said today? 20 concussions, and 5 of them were like blackout concussions.
I did not see that.
Yeah, CBS released it earlier today.
Dude, concussions are real. I wouldn't.
Well, yes, they are.
We're gonna. No, I'm
Like the
saying.
Loch Ness monster.
I'm saying that it is not good. These brain injuries. I probably wouldn't let my kids play football.
I would.
knowing what
I
I know
would when
now.
they got older and they could make their own decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
Le'Veon Bell got hurt.
But I'm definitely not gonna
Just now?
No.
put them into tackle football when they're young.
So
No,
Hunter Henry,
probably not.
He's got a
Fractured-
4-year contract, too.
who?
Hunter Henry. He's got a 4-year
Oh,
contract.
really?
So, if he doesn't, if he can't
Well, he
perform
fractured his
next year,
tibia.
he's probably not going to be. Oh, that's right below your kneecap.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it extends all the way down to your ankle, but But if he can't play next year and prove himself, he may not find himself on a team again.
Yeah. I mean, somebody might pick him up, but he ain't going to be getting paid or nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
I'm trying to find this thing about Gronk.
It'll be all right.
Y'all continue while I'll find it.
You ready?
Yeah, yeah.
You got
I'm
it.
ready.
You got it lined up.
I'll,
you know
I'll
what you got to do.
jump in there when I find it.
Well,
What are you talking about?
I think we're wrapping.
I think we're wrapping things up, but you can show me off air because
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
cool.
late.
That's
So
Cool.
Well, thanks for coming, guys.
Hey,
This
thanks
was
for having
fun.
us.
We'll be on here soon again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.